What's going on, guys? Welcome back. And today we're going to be discussing the future and the next big update for Roadcraft. Also, we'll be reading over a bunch of answered questions from the live Ask Me Anything that was hosted by the developers. So to start off, many players are wondering, when is the June update coming? And the answer is within the next few days, so stay tuned. And as we know, this free update will bring a bunch of bug fixes, 4 new vehicle variants, a photo mode, and also the on-off switch for the engines. So first question, will a function be added to allow us to adjust rain frequency or disable it entirely in the options menu? They replied, we're currently exploring the possibility of adding a skip current weather feature that would automatically advance to the next weather preset. Personally, I think this would be a great idea since I've seen many comments of players complaining about too much rain and others asking for more rain, so this feature would allow you to basically set your own weather while playing. Next question asks, when will other steering wheels be supported? They replied saying wheel integration and support is currently one of our top priorities for Roadcraft. They're actively researching community requests to support various steering wheel brands. While I unfortunately can't share specific timelines for when particular models will be added, I can assure you that with each major patch, 2 and 3, and also going forward, they'll be working to expand support for new devices. Great to hear for those who are wanting to play with a wheel. Following up on the previous question, anyone using a Moza wheel, they do have that in the plans ahead. Moving on, will there ever be a way of removing large trees? They replied, we genuinely wish we could implement this, but unfortunately it's not possible at this time. So basically they can't make every tree interactive as of now. This next one reads, any chance on increasing the flattening ability for the roller? I like making perfectly flat roads, but not spending 3 hours because I have to put it in low and pass over every bump 37 times. They replied. So we're seeing a lot of requests like this lately and trying to figure out how to better handle this. Basically, we could try to just make the roller roll harder and be done with it. But turns out it breaks a couple of the physics if done straightforward. So they're going to have to find some workaround for this. Either way, guys, it's great that the developers are interacting with these requests from players and willing to find a solution. Moving along, will there be a Mule T1 alternative? It's the only reasonable crane bed combo. We do 80% of the game with it. Need more diversity. They replied, Mule is the beast, but they will add some alternatives in the future updates. Yeah, I'd say it's pretty obvious that we can expect more vehicle DLCs. There's already 4 new vehicles coming this month, and I'm sure they have a lot more planned. This same person asked, will there be vehicle modding possible like in SnowRunner? They replied saying that they can't say when, but sooner or later they definitely want to add vehicle modding. Now this is super important and exciting to hear. So many players, including me, would like to see in-game vehicle customizations and modding. I recently just did a video on the first vehicle mod in Roadcraft, which is awesome to see. But not everyone wants to download sketchy files that might risk your saved data. It would be great if the devs made it possible to customize and mod the vehicles directly from the garage within the game. This one asks, will the proper method for securing vehicles on a vehicle transporter be implemented? Simple answer is yes. Next up, will you give us the tools to plan out where roads will be? Similar to how the missions already have them planned out. They replied saying the fun thing here is that such feature actually did exist in the game for some time. And we could even tell AI to build those planned roads. However, it was removed primarily because the UI and UX of the system was just horrible. AI road building required much more time and testing than we could spare at the moment. So what I'm seeing here is many of the replies are basically saying to stay tuned, which is completely okay. I just really wish they do actually put some of these ideas into future updates. Anyways, this guy asks, is there a possibility of getting tow trucks in the future? They would be great as a recovery vehicle. And please, could you buff the Wayfarer traction? They replied, as for recovery vehicles, they've got something cooking that you might appreciate that's coming out soon. I believe they're referring to the next update coming within a few days. 3 out of 4 of these new vehicles do look like some sort of recovery-style type of truck. Not entirely sure about the 6x6 though. We'll have to see. Do you intend to fix the issue with the automated road laying objectives, where the player's road build is deleted and replaced with a crappy prefab the moment the objective gets completed? They replied, we definitely do intend to do so. The existing scenario is a slice of the previously existing mechanic that was intended to help with building fancier roads, not destroy your hard work. They kind of missed this scenario during the launch, but now they can clearly see where the problem is and will fix it. Moving on, this guy says they've built an amazing canvas on which to continue to build the game. Have you considered other mission types? Now, I'm not going to read the rest. You can pause it if you want. Anyways, answer is yes, they do have some new mission ideas they've been working on. However, cannot be revealed just yet what these new mission types will be or when they'll arrive. Now, this next one, I've seen a lot of people request, which is a snow map. And as the devs say, it's a cool idea, but at the moment, their technical limitations prevent us from promising snow levels. Remember, guys, this isn't SnowRunner. Next question. Can sand dumpers please get a mode for pouring a nice line of sand while preparing a road? They replied saying they're currently looking for a way to make the sand pouring more friendly. Maybe a special mode or a special truck. Personally, I've noticed that the sand doesn't pour as evenly and could definitely be more sensitive, kind of how it is in Construction Simulator. Next, when will they add PROS connection without PS Plus on PS5? They answered that it's already in the works. So again, something y'all will just have to stay tuned for and hope it will come soon. Going forward, any plans for further unique mechanics, like painting roads and demolition? Is there a way to remove sand completely? Will adaptive triggers come to PS5? What is the intended function for the Cronework cargo with blade, since it cannot flatten sand? So for unique mechanics, they have quite a few in the works, and as far as the sand removal, unfortunately, due to how the save system is structured, removing sand would be technically challenging but not impossible. They'd have to look into it, no triggers coming anytime soon. And as for the Cronenwork, they're looking into it. Okay, next question. It would be a great addition to be able to secure equipment on trailers like cargo, and they actually responded saying, "This is coming very soon." Very nice to hear. This one asks, are you going to give us a way to make the Xbox controller steering feel smooth and accurate like in SnowRunner or Expeditions? Or will we be stuck being drunk drivers forever? I don't think this is an issue just for Xbox, it's like this for everyone. However, they said while controls will still feel a bit different from SnowRunner and Expeditions, the bugs will be fixed in the current dev build, which will be deployed with the nearest patch. They will be monitoring the situation with controls further, and if something goes wrong again, they will have additional fixes. Also, the additional options of steering mode from SnowRunner is also in the works. This is going to take a little longer than expected. It will arrive once it's ready, and will be deployed with an ongoing patch. So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, there seems to be a lot of errors that need to be fixed, which I'm not mad about, but I do think they should have waited a few more months to finish the errors. And speaking on errors, this guy says, please fix it so vehicles face the right way when exiting the garage. Again, they are aware of this and working actively to resolve it. Moving along, will the dumper's rear door be fixed so we don't leak sand constantly? Answer is, they're currently working on resolving this issue. However, it requires modifications to the sand dispersal logic in the dump body. We want to make sure everything is thoroughly tested before implementation. I don't know why they don't just put up open and close on the rear of the dumpers. Anyways, the mannequin driver, who knows why he doesn't move the steering wheel, they feel the same and again is something that needs to be fixed. This guy says were the sheer amount of excavators lying around the maps placed there in an attempt to mock the community directly, or is it supposed to be the lore reason why we can't use one? So they clearly state here that the excavators are just put there for a fitting asset. It's not possible to dig the terrain too deep at the moment. However, they're looking into moving past that technical issue, so it might be possible in the future. I think this definitely needs to be a feature. Since it's a construction game, we need excavators. Would you consider adding a waypoint system, much like SnowRunner, or an alternative navigation method, like road detecting GPS? Again, they don't know when, but they want to add such a system to the game in the future. Now moving on to the last question that I'll be mentioning in today's video. This one asks, I'd love to know their long-term schedule for Roadcraft. Maybe regular seasonal map releases. So they actually had a plan previously with a more or less clear content schedule for the live game. However, due to a number of different factors like technical issues on launch, now they have to wait until those errors are fixed, most likely. So as of right now, we will still be getting the expansion in September, including the hard mode, new features, and new content. But after that, they say becomes a bit blurry on when the next big update is coming. So personally, I do still think this is a great game and has plenty of potential, but they really need to fix all the bugs and errors before continuing to add new content. Let me know what y'all think. As always, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching.